My name is Carsten Gericke, and I'm going to present to you or recapture what iLink is doing with the iLink CM extensions for InnovaPhone. And we've done this in the past, so this is more or less an recapture of the past, but also what's new in a new version and a new release. And this is why we have this update webinar. So basically, iLink is focused on integrating InnovaPhone with multiple applications, like database applications, CM applications, custom-specific applications. We want to make the business processes in organizations as smooth as possible related to telephony and chat and other things, so that the communication flow is as effective as possible. So we've done this for quite some years now, and from a sales perspective, we have an application so that if there's an incoming call, people will know who is calling, and there's an open contact button there in the dialog, and in this there you can the people can see the contacts of and jump it to the contact in the CRM system. Where actually the data record is found. So this is always the same functionality for all the databases. We always show the details about the contact and make sure that the employee can jump to the contacts in the location where actually the data is stored, so that they can start with the flow of the conversation. So this is for incoming calls, and also for outbound calls, you have your CM applications, their phone numbers. You want to do click and call and dial. We make it possible so that this is available in all CRM or database applications, so that you can do click to call from the device that you have selected in your MyApps client, and make sure that you're effectively dialing from the device you want. There's a new functionality that we have built. You can also carry and integrate the data into the InnovaPhone system, so that the data is always stored also in your MyApps client. It's always available. It's not just in the CRM application, but it's also stored in the InnovaPhone, so you carry all your data with all your devices. I will explain and show you more a little later. So this is the feature list that you always have. Show incoming details of a caller. You can jump directly into the CRM application or database application where the contact is stored, so that you effectively can start. And there's always the dial functionality. From sales perspective, you can do that with all the applications that you see in the list on the right side, like Egg or Dative, which is a German-based applications. We are not limited to German applications. We do have integrated other databases also. We're listening to our European and global partners. Like in the last year, we integrated Odoo, and which is from the Benelux, where Odoo is strong and is picking up in Germany as well. But we're listening to all partners, all international partners. What is important? What do you need? And if possible, and if the interfaces are not too difficult to implement, we start implementing this right away. What is missing, we want to add. So we listen to what you have to say, and what you need to make a sales with your customer or make your customer happy. So there are new features that we have introduced in the past years, like selecting the endpoint for outbound dialing. We also added support for multi-factor authentication. This is a feature of the InnovaPhone that we wanted to add, or we had to add because customers are using it, and we forgot to implement, so we needed to add this right away. So this is what we've done. With the new version and the available version that is available right now, there's also support for first-party TAPI service provider. So if you install our client software on a Windows PC, you will also have data. You will also have TAPI support. We continuously integrate other databases. Here's an example. So please talk with us what you need, what you think is important, and we will try to add as fast as possible. Also, there's a facelift of our application, so it's now modern Windows 11 style. And the client looks like any other Windows 11 application. So the look and feel has changed. And there's another feature which I already mentioned. If needed, we can integrate all the databases that you see in the list here, like Freshworks or Salesforce. We can pull the data out from Salesforce or Freshworks and push them into the My Apps Contacts app, which gives you a sort of meta directory capability. All the data is stored where it should be stored, like in a CRM, but it's also synchronized and replicated into the InnovaPhone, so you can more or less see this on all devices on your InnovaPhone system. Here's a brief description once again on what the application is doing. Pop-up is there. We support, here's the list of the CRMs that we currently support. But beyond what you see here as CRM application, there's also support for LDAP or ODBC. And there's also the option that you write your own scripts. So on an incoming call, you can write a Python script, for example, and then this Python script will be executed and does whatever is needed you want it to do, so to integrate other applications here as well on your own without any support of us. There's also the possibility to add online phone system directories, like in Germany we have the Telefonbuch or das Örtliche, there's Switzerland or Austrian online telephone directories as well, or the white pages in the US. So these sources can be accessed, and if there's an incoming call, you can the contact will automatically look up in those online directories. Here once more a graphical overview so that you understand the concept precisely. There are so many different data sources like ACT or Salesforce or SAP. There are many, and we're trying our best to add whatever you need for your market and integrate this with My Apps and the InnovaPhone system. And you see at the bottom there is a My Apps Contacts app. We are pulling the data out and pushing them into the My Apps Contacts app, and then you have the data available on all your devices in all your InnovaPhone applications. To summarize, again from sales perspective, so that you're understanding the product correctly, if there's an incoming call, you will see the details. This is what's brought on your Windows client, and this is, we do not want to make it intrusive. We show this window, but if people want to have more details, they always can press on the Open Contact button, which opens the associated CRM system where the contact actually was found. So you press Open Contact, and then maybe web browser is opening, or your Outlook is opening, or whatever application is opening, and shows the details about the contact where the data was found. So for all our databases that we are supporting, that functionality is available. And then the user can directly work with the CRM front end where they have where the data was found. Here's an example for Salesforce. If it's found in Salesforce, you press, there's an incoming call, you see the details of the callers, and then you press the Open Contact and Salesforce will open. If you have Pipedrive will open. If you have Odoo will open. If you have Datev will open. So whatever application is associated with the data record, that application will open, but only in the moment where you press the Open Contact button. It will not open automatically. This is by intention, because maybe you're working in your Word application or Excel, then you don't want to have a browser opening immediately. So this is by design. If you want to or immediately want to have that open, this is also possible, but this is the default behavior, and this is the less intrusive way of working with this incoming call. If you do not have a standard application that is available on the market, some applications only have a database access. There's ODBC as a standard. It's easy to integrate also applications with ODBC, and it's the same behavior, finding the records in the database, showing the details about the caller, and if there is an application behind that, you can open also using Open Contact. You can also carry out a script or open a web application that is associated with the data record. The benefits, I think we are all long enough in this business. We all know the benefits, but the employee have peace of mind. They, if there's an incoming call, they find the data immediately. They do not have to manually look that up. That reduces the stress, and it's better service qualities and faster service. And with the new release, where the data gets replicated into the InnovaPhone system, you also have the data available on all your devices, including your mobile client. Here, a brief overview of the architecture. Most people still have a Windows PC. So there's the My Apps client on a Windows PC. Then there's this, on an incoming call, there's a contact, this pop-up coming with the Open Contact. It retrieves the data from the data source, which is shown on, let's say, right side bottom. There's either an on-premise database or you have a cloud database, which either runs on Windows or Linux or on a container platform when it's running on the cloud, like Docker and Kubernetes. This is where you have your CRM application running, or it's running at Amazon, or it's running at Salesforce, and you have cloud architecture. We pull the data out from there and push this into the InnovaPhone phone system, into the app platform at the bottom where the cycle is. And since the data is also stored there, it's also visible not just on the pop-up, but in the phone display as well. So our software needs to pull the data out. It needs to run somewhere. It runs on, usually it runs on the in the cloud or on-premise data server, where you already have where the customer already has the CRM or database running. There usually we install a small add-in, pulling the data out and pushing this using HTTPS into the My Apps platform, and then the data is available. On the right, you see again all the databases which we're currently supporting by standard. So like ACT on Goldmine and Connections and HubSpot and these things. Or this works for all the applications that you see on the right side. But it's not limited to that. That means if it's not in this list, that only means we need to talk and see how we can integrate other CRM applications. And this is what we are continuously always doing. We listen to partners, we listen to customers, we see what's required there, and then we add to the list. Our application is part of the InnovaPhone ecosystem. It's a My Apps application. It is available in the My Apps store from InnovaPhone. You can pull it from there, download and install it from there. and usually there's more things to install, maybe on client side, or maybe the Keep in Sync application on the server side. But then this is documented. This is available in wikis, and also we will help. I will explain later how to communicate with us and what we can, how you can reach out to us. As an application, MyApps application, you will find this on the InnovaPhone price list. You do not buy this from iLink directly. It's part of the InnovaPhone price list, and you order this app using the normal channels there. And here's an excerpt from the price list, but you always have to look there. And for the extension from the Keep in Sync, where we pulling the data out of the CRM application and pushing this into the Contacts app, we do not have an additional licensing model. The deal is the following: if you buy 25 user licenses or more, then all your employees, not just the 25, but all your employees, maybe you have more employees than 25, but then all employees can use have the benefit of synchronizing the contacts out of the CRM and pushing them into the MyApps Contacts app. So this is the implicitly license. You buy 25 user licenses, and then you have this functionality also available for synchronizing this into the Contacts app. There's one thing that I still want to highlight. There is configuration required. Our application needs to know, for a Windows client, needs to know where is the InnovaPhone phone system, and enter the username and the credentials for that user, so that on behalf of that user we see which number is ringing or who is calling, and then open up the application on the Windows client side so that you can jump right into the conversation in the CRM system. So you need to configure these things. We added a feature where you can decide which device is going to be used. Like in this example, there's a checkbox. You see this on the bottom right corner. There's the MyApps phone selected. That means your MyApps client is the one that is dialing, but you could also switch this to any other device that you may have, like a soft phone. Then you would select the soft phone, and from this moment on, all the calls that you're doing from your CRM, if you click on a phone number in your CRM application, then the soft phone would be dialing. So these are the core configurations that you need to do. This is nothing fancy. This is very slim configuration. This is what the user needs to do so that you have a good integration and experience with your CRM. What do you need? What are the prerequisites? So from support perspective, we support all MyApps platforms that InnovaPhone supports. So whatever is there and ready to install, and where InnovaPhone says this is under support, this is what we are also supporting, and it's the same thing from the Microsoft perspective. Technically, our software would still run with older versions of the Windows client operating system, but Microsoft is only supporting Windows 10. So Windows 8, they have discontinued their support. So iLink is also committed whatever Microsoft is supporting on the client side as an operating system. This is what we are supporting. There's a little disclaimer here. We're supporting Intel-based or AMD-supported client operating system. So, for example, for TAPI, we can't support ARM-based Windows systems. So the platform is important, but so far that has not been a big deal. Nobody so far has asked us to support ARM architecture for Windows, because most database and CRM applications, they're also classical Windows, Intel, AMD based clients. If you ever run into such a different situation, please let us know, because then we would like to rethink our current position. If that still makes sense, maybe this becomes way more popular in future, and then we of course would also move on and support that. For prerequisite is also, of course, if the CRM application is running somewhere in the cloud, then our software needs to be able to access this phone book or cloud-based CRM system. So we usually need HTTP or HTTPS secure communication with cloud CRM systems, but this is more or less obvious. But this also is true for the InnovaPhone system. Our software, of course, needs to have access to using HTTPS secure to the InnovaPhone phone system. So the firewalls need to be open, but mainly this is HTTPS communications in 98% of the cases. And of course, a valid CRM account is needed to access the CRM system. I guess this is obvious, but I still wanted to point that out. For the keep in sync, meaning the meta directory, where we're synchronizing the contacts into the InnovaPhone, usually we install a small add-in on the CRM or database server where already the data is stored. This is then a Java program that runs on a time base, like maybe every night, and pulling all the data out of the database and pushing this and synchronizing this with the InnovaPhone system, so that the data is at your hand or at the employee's hand anytime when they need them. So about iLink, we're doing this since over 30 years now, since 1990. This is where you can read through. We are focused on integrating applications. If you have projects where you need support in integrating applications and business flows with the InnovaPhone system and replicating them or any other applications, feel free to contact us, because we are interested in integrations. So this is an interesting point here. We do have, I added my email address and phone number where you always can reach me personally, of course. For me, it's important that you at least have one name that you always can call and you never feel alone. But the usual way to access and contact iLink is using support email. This will end up in a ticketing system at iLink, and we will work on the ticket and get back to you and discuss with you how we can help you. We also have a Q&A session every week. So if you do not know how to express yourself or what to write in an email and what to exactly ask, you can simply come and join the Q&A session. This is driven by partners and customers, whatever they think they need or where they have ideas or where they need help and support and find it hard to write an email or open a support case. I understand, we understand that, and this is why we're offering this Q&A session. At the bottom, you see the link with CRM Integrationen. This is in German. We have to think maybe how to do that better in an international way. This is what comes to my mind here right now. But still, come to that meeting, click on the link, join there. We will, of course, speak in English also. And with that, I think I'm within time. Maybe there are questions, maybe there are non-questions. If there are questions, would be a good point here right now. Otherwise, I conclude with this session here.
Thank you, Carsten. So there is a question. So will the documentation in your website also be translated in English soon?
I'm a bit astonished if you're saying this is not translated, but if it's not translated, we better should do this. So I will look this up myself. I was under the impression this is already in English, but if I'm wrong, then I will check and verify. Please send me an email. And yes, it should be, and it must be in English also.
I think you are doing a lot of international business from iLink since years. So from that perspective, I think that shouldn't be the issue.
Yes.
As there are no more questions,
also,
so I will
also note there's a wiki at Innovaphone. We try to put the most important pieces there as well. So most people look in the wiki first and then find the way to our website. But I will make sure that this is properly in English as well.
Okay, so the things I would like to bring up are the questions from the German webinar, because they might be also interesting for the international partners. So one thing is all this also works with cloud installations from Innovaphone. So neither it is a hosting or it's the Innovaphone cloud. So that's also supported. And to be very clear on that, the components which needs to be installed, just to summarize it, is on one side the app, which can be downloaded from the Innovaphone App Store. Then you need a local component installed on the PC, and in some cases, for some CRMs, you need a server component which can be installed on the server part of the CRM tool. So that you can get access locally to the database. Is right?
That is a very good summary. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And last but not least, just to highlight it again, because it's really a nice improvement. This keep in sync functionality, what is really replacing meta directories of other vendors, that is part of the installation as soon you are buying or selling more than 25 or more iLink CRM extensions. So there is no additional price tag for that. And once this is used, then all the contacts are synchronized into the Innovaphone Contacts app. And that means that every user, also the users which are not using the iLink CRM extension, can get access through the search app, through the telephone, through everywhere where you can access the Contacts app. Of course, through the Contacts app, can access to the data of the CRM. So it's really broadened the functionality of this solution outside of the pure users of the iLink CRM extension to the whole company to get access to the CRM content.
Yes, wonderful, beautiful described.
There is one more question. So there was SAP on the slide, but it was not in the presentation. So is SAP supported?
Yes, so SAP is supported. Maybe I'm missing this. Please do not necessarily say if something is not there. If it's on the slide, we're doing this. Maybe they are not 100% consistent. So I look for that as well, and maybe add to the list. I mean, yes, we support SAP to be clear, but there's so different modules. So sometimes we need to talk with the customer. What do they actually want to see from the different modules that are in a SAP? If it's the standard contacts, fine. This works more or less out of the box. But some have custom extensions, and then we're willing to look into it and also integrate that as well. Usually that's just a matter of configuration somewhere.
and maybe that's also a nice hint for your weekly open Q&A session. So if the iLink CRM extension is not good enough for the requirements of the customer, you might have more solutions. I'm just thinking of your Salesforce integration, where you have also a very deep integration into Salesforce, what can do much more than the iLink CRM extension. So you can bring up these questions from the end customers as well in this Q&A session. So there might be a better or a more deep integration from iLink for this specific use case for the customers.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up again. I would like to add a little more. What we are offering here is the basic, that's the fundamentals. This should be easy to sell and install. It's a clear functionality, and it's very very well defined what the product can do and what cannot do. So this by design, we want to make it clear what the application is doing so that you have it easy to sell and also to install. But this is the foundation. We can go deeper and deeper if there are detailed business processes that a customer needs to have, and then on project basis, we can drill in and do more, or we have already applications that can do more. But this is here the foundation, and we can always build on top and do more. So if this is not sufficient, that's by intent. We want to just do click to call very well. We want to open contact very well. And then for details and more, please contact us or look also on the website what we have to offer. But the best way is to bring it on a table, to start a conversation and discussion about that, either by support, by my email, or come to the Q&A session and we can discuss things. Or if that's not enough, we can, of course, schedule a private conversation. We try whatever is working for you.
The SAP question is a little bit more concrete now. So the question is if SAP Bullhorn is supported. Never heard that, but maybe you have.
Is Bullhorn supported? Let me go back.
Okay.
I do not know everything by myself. I have heard the term, but I do not exactly know. But let me come back or send me an email. I will follow up with you if I have your contact details. I will follow up with you.
Perfect. So I think we are good in time. Again, the motivation to you. So I think every of our customers have some kind of a CRM or a tool which should be integrated with a PBX system, with the InnovaPhone system. So I think that the perfect application to do cross-selling and upselling to existing customers, but also to integrate it in new offers, to make the system more valuable for your customers, because then integration and then pop-up with contact data is always helping the sales teams and the customer to work more productive. So from that perspective, just consider this application if you do new offers, if you do presentations, play around with it and get in touch with iLink if you have any questions from a customer. So that is my message for today. I think Carsten brought up all the information about the product. It is in the price list, so it is the documentation is in the wiki. You should have all information you need. So the last thing I have to do is just to wish you a nice weekend.
Yes, and let me add, I just looked it up. Yes, Bullhorn is supported. My brain didn't. It's the CRM up from SAP, and I didn't. It didn't snap in. Yes, Bullhorn is supported. It's the CRM app for SAP. We have it.
Okay. Then I think all questions are covered. And again, thank you for attending. Thank you for your questions, and I wish you a nice weekend. Bye.
Yes, you too. Bye.